Konnichiwa mina, boku wa Jeremy desu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. And so excite. I didn't see this until now. So excite. But I wanted to talk to you guys about it. They have finally announced more information on the fourth Sailor Moon musical to feature the newer cast, and continuing on with the French theme. This particular one has been confirmed to be a Super S-based one, so the Dead Moon Circus, it makes sense. And it is called Amour Eternal, so Love Eternal. Pretty basic, pretty interesting. So Sailor Moon Amour Eternal, and they have a new, what do you call it, logo, actually. I'll show you this. It's pretty neat. Right there. So that's their new logo. Musical, Pretty Guardian, Sailor Moon, Amour Eternal. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I have a touch screen now, don't I? Look, it's Yuga Yamato. That's Tuxedo Kamen. So this is from the Anime News Network website. You can check it out there too. They have made their announcements, and this is kind of interesting. And I don't know why this keeps happening with Mercury now. It used to be, for the most part, Mercury was one of the actresses that stayed the longest in the original run, like the very first Mercury did for 5 years with Anza, and the Sailor Mars was there for most of it too. But they announced a different girl to play Sailor Mercury, which was Hikari Kuroki, but now it looks like Yume Takuchi is replacing her as Sailor Mercury for whatever reason. So the musical, of course, will be titled Bishoujo Senshi Sailor Moon Amour Eternal, which again is Love Eternal. Looks like all of the outers are returning. So Shu Shiotsuki as Haruka / Sailor Uranus. Sayaka Fujioka as Michiru / Sailor Neptune, which is great because I think they work very well together. I'm really glad that they're coming back. Karen Takahashi as Hotaru / Sailor Saturn. Mikako Ishii as Setsuna / Sailor Pluto, which is fantastic. I love her. I love her Sailor Pluto. She is my favorite. Not just because she's Sailor Pluto and Sailor Pluto's my favorite, but I love the actress. I think she's adorable and very just perfect for the role. And Airi Kanda is Chibiusa / Sailor Chibi Moon. So it looks like they're down to one of the girls, but she is one that's been with them the whole time. So this will put her at the same run amount of time as the original 5 that played starting in this set. So Satomi, Moon, and all of them. New cast members include Hikaru Hiyama as Helios. So this is I think this is the first Super S musical that'll actually have the human form of Pegasus, Helios, however you want to pronounce it. Ayu Otsuki as Neharenia. Kanami Sakai as Zirconia. Chihiro Ando as Tiger's Eye. Ryona Tatemichi as Hawk's Eye. Yumi as Fish Eye. And then Yoshika Kobayashi, Risa Kawamura, Yoshimi Hidano, Chiemi Doi, Ayano Nagasawa, and Ayumi Sagisaka as Dead Moon Circus members. Now, who is missing from that? A vital 4. That would be Ves, Sere, Para, and Junjun, the Amazon Quartet, which is very interesting because when you look at the manga, the Amazon Quartet are kind of the ones that are more in control, and Tiger's Eye, Hawk's Eye, and Fish Eye are kind of more monster of the day, sort of. Like, that's what they're relegated to, so Crystal will probably do that too. So it's very interesting that they chose to have them instead of the Amazon Quartet, especially because the Amazon Quartet ties into Sailor Stars, and I think they're missing. Now, they might have something completely hidden up their sleeves. Maybe some of those girls that are listed as Dead Moon Circus members, they might be the Amazon Quartet. I don't know. I find it weird that they didn't actually announce them as such, but, you know, there's lots of Dead Moon Circus people. But in Sailor Stars, we meet Sailor Vesta, Sailor Sears, Sailor Pallas, and Sailor Junos, who are, I mean, spoiler alert, part of Chibiusa's court, kind of like Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and Venus. The asteroid Senshi are those ones, Sailor Vesta, Ceres, Junos, and Pallas, named after asteroids. And they have Amazon S Jungle Arrow. And they're an integral part, especially towards the end when it comes to fighting Galaxia. So this is very interesting, and I mean, maybe they're just trying for time and stuff, because honestly, if you look at what they did with the vampire stories, the vampire trilogy, that was a very convoluted plot that was specific only for the musicals, and it ran for 3 specific musicals, 3 years, with like Kanbei Miyuki's entire run. And that it is possible to go into that level of intricacy, but they don't seem to do that with the 5 original seasons for whatever reason. And I was really hoping that we'd see the Amazon Quartet in a Super S musical style. Like, we did see them in one of the vampire musicals, the Transylvania No Mori, I believe, but that it's not in the original context of what they were from the Super S manga. So I'm a little bit sad about that. I gotta admit that. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's still going to be fantastic. This run of the musicals has been phenomenal. Not to say that the old ones haven't, because I still love them, especially Enza's run. But they've been hitting things really well, and I think it's really because Naoko Takeuchi has a lot more say in how things go. So, again, that saddens me just a little bit. And I also hope, like the original, because this is only the second time that they're doing the Super S-based musical. They only did it once, and it was 95-96 when they did the original and the revised edition, the Kaitaban. They never did touch on it again when they were going through them again with Marina Kuroki and stuff. It's a big to-do. Like, honestly, it's a huge thing with a circus. Like, everybody was trained circus acrobatics and stuff, and I wonder if maybe that's why they changed a lot, like the 5 main actresses. Maybe they're trying to, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be. Like, the original one did deviate from stuff because they did a lot of circus tricks and all that stuff, but who knows. And again, I am really curious to see how they handle Pegasus, if they will have Pegasus, or if it's just going to be all done through the human form, which is Helios, and they have the character. So I would love to see either the laser light show again, or like someone suggested, like how they do Hatsune Miku, like a 3D visual hologram type thing. That would be really, really neat. And they have the technology to do it. So, I mean, if they can give us freaking glasses that translate things live into English, French, Chinese, all that stuff, come on. You could do a holographic image for Pegasus. So, Naoko Takeuchi was part of the panel judging auditions for the new cast, of course. Kaede as Makoto Kino, Yume Takuchi as Ami Mizuno / Sailor Mercury, again replacing Hikari Kuroki, Hotaru Nomoto as Usagi, Karen Kobayashi as Rei, and Rimo Hasegawa as Minako. So the girls will probably debut in costume on Usagi and Chibiusa's birthday event, which is June 30th. And that's probably also going to wrap up Sailor Moon Crystal's current arc, because there's only 2 episodes left. The musical debuts at the Aya 2.5 Theater Tokyo venue, which it's always at, October 15th to 23rd this year. I think it used to be September that they would do it, roughly around that area. And then it goes to Canal City Theater in Fukuoka from October 29th to 30th. 29th is my little brother's birthday. And then Sankei Hall Breeze in Osaka from November 4th to 6th. They are replacing the original cast from Bishoto Senshi Sailor Moon Un Nouveau Voyage, which was the 3rd new stage play celebrating the manga's 20th anniversary, and so on. So this is fantastic. Of course, Yuga Yamato has been also named as coming back as Tuxedo Kamen, which makes her the longest running cast member, I believe, currently. Yes. And then it would be Pluto and Chibi Moon. And then so on and so forth. So, very exciting. I'm really excited to see this. And so we know pretty much next year's will be a Sailor Stars-based one. I wonder if they'll base it off how they did originally, where they split it into 2, because there was... it is a huge story to take on. And if they did do that, I would like to see the Amazon Quartet come in. But, I mean, they really get their story, their backstory from Super S. So, it'd be interesting to see a... Almost, I mean, it would deviate from the manga, but it would also kind of touch on what happened with the original anime. If they did a Super S-based thing, and then they did a half Super S, half Stars kind of intro musical, and then finished off with Stars. So, say they had the Amazon Quartet come back and work with Sailor Iron Mouse, Lead Crow, Aluminum Siren, and Tinyanko, and then have Princess Kaku come in, later on again, and then have Sailor Leith, Nemesis, Kai-Fi, Heavy Metal Papillon, Zero Star Sagittarius, the whole thing. Like, I really hope to see something like that. But I can't lie, I mean, I would love to... My favorite musical of all time is still the one where they had Galaxia and Queen Beryl work together. That was fun. I loved it. It touched on a lot of stuff. We got to see a song between Pluto and Queen Beryl in terms of their love for Tuxedo Kamen / King Endymion. I mean, it was great. And they did it twice or 3 times now. So, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's it for now. Big news, very exciting. It's a great week for Sailor Moon stuff. Like I said, you saw me gushing over the latest episode of Sailor Moon Crystal, which I personally thought was like a perfect episode, or as close to perfect as possible. And we'll see what happens next week. Alright, Jamatane Mina. Let me know what you think in the comments below if you're excited about the musicals as much as I am. And I'll see you next time. Jamatane.